What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Schreiber. Fantasy Battle Report's got another battle report for you today. It's the Forest City Fracas. Round number 5, guys. Guys, what is going on? It's your boy James here with another battle report. Guys, the last round of Forest Fracas. You guys actually gave me a lot of good feedback on round 4. A lot of you enjoyed that game. That was a game that we actually finished the game. We actually didn't have everything run off the table, and it was an actual brawl. From both sides, and the Orcs prevailed. So I got a lot of positive feedback on that game. Guys, let me give you a recap of what's going on in the tournament overall. Right now, Eirik, after round 4, has been killing it. And I mean, he has been killing it. He is probably going to take first place unless the next match goes in favor of his opponent. Right now, Eirik is at 68 points, battle points. The next up is Mike Smith, but Mike Smith already played Eirik in round 2, and Mike Smith is 58. Right under that is John Oaks, which is my boy that I stayed with. John got 57. Mike Johnson's actually at 51, and then basically Sean Mooney was close, but Sean Mooney just lost 17-3 to Eirik. So in match 2 is actually my brother. My brother was in a good spot for this round, but he unfortunately lost to Mike Smith. He was in third place, I think, up to this point, and then he lost to Mike Smith, which basically dropped him back down. John Oaks beat Kenyon Duncan 19-1, which throws John up to the fact that he's going to have to probably face Eirik. And then in my match, I ended up beating Freiberger, but I was in the middle of the pack, so I'm basically going mid-high. I think I've been basically hovering around the same 2 tables the whole tournament, okay? But just to give you an idea, let's go into pairings for round 5. It's going to be Eirik versus John, Mike Smith versus Omer, Mike Johnson versus Sean Mooney, my brother versus Andrew Ratman, Mike Maddox versus Josh Gurin, and then I am like a couple more matches down. There's Chuck versus Slavomir, Kenyon versus Jeff Durham, and then me versus Alex Meyer. All right, guys. As for my opponent, I'm playing Alex Meyer. Alex, this is another person that I haven't played in years, and I mean years. I used to play him a lot more back in when the tournaments were more 8th edition heavy or 9th age just started, and not out of lack of going to tournaments or anything. I'm always at the same tournaments as Alex, period, roughly, you know what I mean? He's usually at any of the Ohio tournaments or Michigan tournaments. But I think the last time I went to Michigan GT, he was running it. I want to say that was the case. So, obviously I'm not going to play him there, but it's been many years. The last I recall was an Adepticon. I want to say that was 2017. It was the year that Once Bitten came with me. Alex was my first round opponent. I might have fought him once or twice after that. But anyways, Alex is a heavy beast herd player. He loves playing his beast herds, and that's what he's going to bring. Let's go over his list really quick. He has a Minotaur Warlord with Destiny's Call, Cleansing Light, Binding Scroll, Crown of Horns. Now, this Warlord is going to be in a giant brick of a Death Star, more or less, because he has 6 Minotaurs with shields, Blackwing Totem. Actually, it's not a Death Star, it's just a Minotaur and Minotaurs. Anyways, he has a Soothsayer, Raiding Chariot with a Trickster Cunning Hat. He has a Beast Chieftain, Banner of Discipline, and Ether Icon with Mithril and Great Weapon. He has 37 Mongrels, Banner of the Wild Herd. He has 15 Ambushers, both of them Wild Horns. 12 Centaurs, 17 Longhorns, Beast Giant. Now, in all fairness, my Giants and his Giants should cancel each other out. His are a little bit cheaper, mine having a little extra buffs, but they should cancel each other out. My thing is I have to get through that brick of Minotaurs, and I have to get through the Longhorns and Centaurs. Those are both all pretty nasty units. The Mongrel Herd I'm not too worried about. The General could be very nasty, especially with Cleansing Light. Ooh, that could be really nasty. All right. Now let's go over deployment more or less. I'm trying to think. I think this is a. It looks like secure target, and it looks like either classic battle line or marching columns. I don't really have a picture showing what we had. Um, Now, as you can see, I deployed. Let's go from left to right. On the left, I have Ruckus. You can barely see him in the picture, but he's there. Right next to that, I have the Chosen One of Crom, which is my general's unit. They're on a hill. I got the Goblins right next to them. I got the Feral Orcs in the ruins next to them. I got the other giant Cletus there. And then I have my Orcs with bows on the right side. What I try to do is I try to split up my bows so I have they'll be able to shoot anything in the middle. And then I have my Beastie Boys on, I think, the right flank and the left flank, or just the left flank or right flank, I don't remember. But I do have the K-Pack split up as well. I ended up taking first turn, but what my opponent did was he ended up putting his whole army like 29 inches back, more or less, so I can't really do anything with my pyromancy or my shooting effectively. He's also in a forest with his main blocks, so he doesn't really have to worry about shit. I could try to zoom in here. You can see he has a giant up in the water. He has his raiding chariot, his mongrels, his longhorns, his centaurs, his minotaurs, and then he has another giant over here on this side. Like I said, they're well protected from pyro and everything. He's gonna start off his giant sober, and these guys are drunk. All right, and let's go over turn one. Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn one. Oh, going back. Let's go over magic. Magic, he got chilling, hollow swarm of insects, break the spirit, awaken the beast, and all the totems. All right, I don't. Did I take a? I don't even take a picture of my magic. That is crazy. I think it's just because we're in a rush. At this point, honestly, my tournament, I stopped making videos at the end because it's just kind of go, 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 go kind of a tournament. As you can see, my Doom Diver's chilling in the back. It's my turn, turn one. Orcs and Goblins, turn one. I moved the K-Pack on the right side. We're going to start from over on that side. The K-Pack on the right side is zoning the giant. There's only two of them on that side. Koopa's on the left side by himself trying to help zone that giant, but what I ended up doing is I just put Ruckus there next to his giant. 12 inches behind Ruckus is my general's unit, so I could take a great weapon if I want to, and that would basically negate if his giant wants to charge me. That I would don't mind because I get more attacks back. On the right side, you can see my Beastie Boys went way up around the flank to threaten. I don't really care about the giant. I want to threaten his wizard, and I want to threaten his other guy with my great weapon maulers. Okay, my other Beastie Boys are just hanging out in front of my other guys in case he wants to charge. I could flee through. It's not a big issue. Cletus is moving up because he doesn't have anything in the center. He basically is pushing back, so Cletus is moving up aggressive. My savages are moving up aggressive. Both units of ferals are moving up. My goblins, I moved them up a bit, but I actually held back because I don't want to get close enough for that giant to terror check me or get a lucky charge in. I don't want him basically to have anywhere to go. Alright. Magic. Don't have the flux, but I go ahead and I put flaming swords up onto Ruckus. Main reason for this is that I could probably go paired weapons. I wound him on threes. But yeah, that's about it. There wasn't really good magic. I didn't really have anything I could do. You can see I have Rod of Battle and some other stuff. I don't really know if I even took a picture. I didn't. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, let's move forward. That was it for magic. My shooting, I go ahead and I try to shoot the Doom Diver, and I roll a 1, and I roll a 1. That was the long life of my Doom Diver. I ended up getting this made from by Jorge, and unfortunately this game was the last game. I'm going to play it for a while because they changed the points of it. They made it so expensive that it's not even worth taking. It doesn't do that much. As you can see in my point value at the end of this game, it really didn't do as much damage as it's worth, so it's not worth bringing, unfortunately. And yeah, that's how it looks. It's gonna start off turn 1. Beasters, turn 1. I don't even think he tried to charge me, man. He walked away from a lot of the units, or he walked the giants away. He didn't care about my Beastie Boys. He didn't care about Ruckus. He flanked Ruckus with his giant. Everybody else stayed back. Magic. He got a 3 on the flux. Goes ahead and eat a swarm of insects here, hoping to cause a panic. I have to let this go because there's other things I have to worry about. This is one that I was kind of like, I just hope he flubs the roll. He kills 2 of my guys, causes a panic test, and I pass it. Woo! That's all that happened, though. That is all that happened. We're going to go into turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins, turn 2. I'm going to charge Koopa here. Now, I charge here. The main reason is I'm actually hoping that I could, like, I don't know. I fucking don't know. I thought maybe I could kill him. Maybe. That's 7 wounds. I got impact hits. I got 3 attack, strength 6. I got some dogs. Worst case scenario, I'm hoping I can hold. We'll see how that goes. Over here, even though he killed my guy, 2 over here, I pop out the Maulers, and I let the Maulers charge into his mongrels. Main reason for this is if I get into those mongrels, the mongrels are going to be stuck. His Shaman and his Giant cannot charge my Beastie Boys, because I'm just going to make them skinny enough where they don't really care if, he won't be able to see me. So I'm going to actually, this is a good charge for me. I'm just going to pop the Maulers, charge into the flank, right? There's no downside to this. They both get in. Boom, boom! Now, over on the left, I use Ruckus. I think that's why I charged Koopa in, was just to hold the Giant still for a second. And I let Ruckus run to the flank of his Minotaur. Alright, I'm moving my Savages up. I move my Ferals up. I kind of have Cletus chill back for a minute because he does have Centaurs over there, and those Centaurs can punch a pretty nasty punch. I got my K-Pack Chili back on the right, and I just moved my Beastie Boys out of the way on the right. But yeah, that's it. Magic! Go ahead and I get a Rod of Battle off onto Koopa. Okay, cool. That's it. Everything else he stopped. I think he tried to stop the Flaming Swords, which obviously that matters. Impact hits, I do 2 wounds. And then I end up doing 3 more wounds with my attacks. So I did a total of 5. Obviously, I did not kill him. But holy shit, did he swing back and boom! Oh, God damn it. Oh, that hurt. Oh, he killed Koopa. And he is free. And not only is he free, but he has 5 extra wounds. He is raging, this Giant. Over here, his mongrels kill one of my Beastie Boys. My Maulers, and everybody goes back. And I end up killing off a good chunk. I kill like 7 of these guys, okay? Now I have a charge flank and 7 wounds. So that's like 9 combat res, okay? He has 3 ranks, banner, and a wound. He loses by 4. Now he is steadfast, okay? With a reroll. The thing is, his general is in the Minotaur unit on the other side of the map. So he was rolling on his mongrel leadership with a reroll because his BSB is right next to them. He fails both rolls. Totally did not expect this. I wasn't even planning on this. This is totally just a bonus. Alright? So he runs. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to try to chase. I chase. Now, he does roll like an 11 or a 12. So he books it. He books it. I roll like an 8 or something like that. And I actually slam into the unit next to them, which is those Longhorns. And I'm going to be sticking those Longhorns for this turn, too. Oh, that's just silver luck right there. That is just silver luck. It's going to start off turn 2. Beast Herds. Beast Herds turn 2. He pops up his ambushers here. His ambushers pop out behind my units. He charges his centaurs into my Rotten Tooth tribe. The Rotten Tooths are basically going to have to handle this because there's, I think Cletus can help, but I think once the reform happens, Cletus ain't going to help shit. And his other guy failed the charge. He charged this guy up here, failed the charge in, which was it was a long charge, and he charged the other giant somewhere, but I think he failed the charge as well. Anyways. Magic, he got a 2 on the flux. Goes ahead and he puts up the gnarled totem on these guys. I kind of have to let that go because he has a lot of other stuff. Over here, these guys are going to shoot into my spiders. They only kill off 1 spider. Over here, close combat. Whoa, close combat. I pop out my spears and I end up killing off 10 of these guys. Or No, not 10. 3, 6 of these guys. Sorry, 6 of these centaurs. Centaurs go back and they just rip apart. I mean, they kill off the whole back row basically. I am gonna hold on a steadfast. I'm only leadership 7, but with the reroll and the minimize, I stick. I was able to reform, and I put myself smaller so I could try to get more ranks and stuff like that. Because after that first round of combat, I don't think I got, like, I think they have like a 5-up or a 4-up armor, but I'm really struggling to destroy that, and I'm gonna have to just stick there on combat res alone, right? So that's gonna suck. Turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. Oops, my bad. Before we go to turn 3, up here, he challenges with the champ. I kill a champ with the mauler, right? I kill a couple guys. He's obviously going to. Oh no! I take it back. He challenges with his BSB. And his BSB has a great weapon, so I'm going at the same time with a great weapon on my Mauler. I end up putting up 2 wounds on his BSB. His BSB whiffs, and I mean whiffs, on my Mauler. The distracting really helps out. I end up killing off like a 1 guy or something like that, but he ends up killing off 2 of my Beastie Boys. So he has Banner, BSB, 2 wounds, and I think a rank, right? For 5 combat res, I have a charge, a flank, 2 wounds on his BSB, and I think I did a wound onto the unit. So it's a push. We're not going anywhere. Okay. If it wasn't a push, I think I win by 1. If I won by 1, he actually failed to reform, which is a big deal here. He does not reform. All right, now it's turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins, turn 3. These fucking guys, by the way, this mongrel unit rallied because it ran right past the general, and the general's leadership mattered on his turn, so he rallied here. They're in the way of Ruckus's charge, so I'm just like, Ruckus is going to charge in. I mean, they're already softened up a bit because the maulers softened up these mongrels. But basically, that's the only charge. This is a good view of the table right now. Okay? You can see the Cletus. Where did Cletus go? Oh, I see what I did here. Oh, I see. All right, let me explain. Cletus did not help out the Rotten Tooths. The Rotten Tooths are, I'm hoping they hold by themselves. I'm out-botting him, and he only has like 6 bodies left. So as long as I am able to do enough wounds, I'm going to win that grind, right? The Longhorn unit is stuck with my Mauler, so I'm good there. I don't have to push. I can hold on to the objective right now. The ambushers are an issue because of my Goblin unit. So I turn the Goblin unit around to deal with the ambushers, and I bring Cletus back towards the ambushers, because if anybody can handle these, Cletus can. Okay? I move my general basically so he could charge out and not be chaffed by the rock or my goblins, and I could just kind of charge into anything that walks into the center. Savages don't have to push. I don't have to fight the Minotaurs anytime soon. Okay, I'm in a good spot right now. I just gotta make sure these ambushers don't kill me. The other Beastie Boys came back to chaff his ambushers from charging the rear of my savages, and then my K-Pack is still holding back that giant at the right side. Alright, magic. Got a 6 on the flux. Go ahead. I don't really have a picture of what the fuck I did. Looks like I did a fireball here. Kill off 2 of these guys. And that's basically the only picture I have of magic. Up here, close combat. My fucking Mauler killed his BSB. His BSB had mithril armor and a great weapon, and my Mauler just ripped him apart, killed him. I think he killed that Mauler at the same time, but it doesn't even matter. The other 2 Maulers kill off 5 more Longhorns. I'm actually winning combat by a lot, but he is still steadfast. He ended up putting up 1 wound on each of my Maulers too as well, but he's going to hold the steadfast, and he is going to pass this time and hold himself still. But it doesn't really matter. I killed his fucking BSB. That is huge. Up here, Ruckus gets 2 wounds on him, but he ends up killing off, I don't even remember, man, like 10 dudes. I don't know. Ruckus, look at this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was 1 off. Wow. Ruckus! Smash, little ponies. So happy for that fat fuck. I'm happy that he's doing what he's supposed to do. Turn 3. Beast Herds, turn 3. We got a picture of Slalomir's ass here, but the chariot, the raiding chariot shaman, charges into the ass of my remaining maulers. It's okay. They did their job. It's okay, but I'm about to lose these maulers. This giant, oh my god, he's gonna charge in, and I'm probably gonna lose Ruckus. Oh my god, this is gonna suck. All right. Over here, he charges into the chaff. He has to. He gets in. And he gets in there. Magic, he gets 8 on the flux, goes ahead and gives these guys the black wing totem to give him a crazy charge range. Again, I have to let this go. He puts up a Waken the Beast here. These guys, I'm assuming these guys are dead. Over here, close combat, he kills off my Beastie Boys. Yep. Over here, close combat. Oh god, he ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds onto Ruckus. Ruckus lives. I think I pick up a great weapon, and I decided to just go half and half. Half into the giant, half into the unit, and boom! I slaughter the giant, and I kill a good chunk of mongrels, but Ruckus is really hurt now. Ruckus is really hurt. Up here, he ends up killing off my maulers, and then over here, holy shit, I finally grinded him down. As you can see, he ended up killing, I'm 10 wide, so he ended up killing 21 of my orcs out of 40. You know, not this round, but the round before, I think I barely did a wound because I just couldn't pierce his armor. But I turn around to face off the ambushers. Okay, turn 4, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins, turn 4. Cletus! Cletus is going to charge in here into his ambushers. I think they didn't really have anywhere to go. I didn't chaff him. I'm not sure what he did here. But Cletus is going to get in. Boom! All right. As you can see, that's really it. I tried. Actually, I take this back. I chaff using my broken Doom Diver in front of his ambushers so he can't charge the rear of my feral orcs. He can't go straight, and he can't wheel past it to go around it. So he can wheel past to get to the Rotten Tooth, though. So at least I protect the ass of my one unit that is actually a little bit more important at this moment. I am holding the objective right now, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's just how the table looks right now, man. All right. You can see on the right side, the giant is playing games with the K-Pack, the K-Pack Plus. I think I separated them into 2 pieces because, yeah, just because. All right, Magic. Go ahead and get a fireball off. Kill off a couple of these longhorns. Get the Rod of Battle up over here on Cletus. Cletus is gonna go ahead and crush off like 5 dudes. He goes ahead and swings. I don't even think he did a wound. And then I Thunderstomp a couple more, and I just literally caused the unit to run off the table. Cletus just turns around in his. He is just so happy. He's so happy with himself. He's like, can't wait to tell brother. All right, over here, Ruckus. Ruckus is killing these motherfuckers. He pops the unit. I am facing the flank of his Minotaur, but it's gonna be his turn next, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's it. Turn 4, I think. Beasters turn 4. He charges here into the Rotten Tooths. I'm just going to have to take that on the chin. I'm hoping I can hold this. I don't know if they can. I've already lost quite a few bodies. But they are just wild horns. The other ones were centaurs. It's roughly the same stat line, though. Over here, this is a big failed charge for him. He only needed a 9. A 9. And he failed to make it to my feral orcs with his Minotaur brick. Oh, he stumbles forward out of the forest. And the funny thing is, too, is like he needed a 9. And he rolled like a 6 and a 2, right? I mean, he had the D3 from the Black Wing, and I think that's why he needed the 9. So it was a far charge, but he could have made it, but he just failed. It makes him stumble out of the forest, which is huge. Also, it puts him in a very vulnerable spot. You can see Ruckus on the flank. You can see the savages in the front, and what you can't see on the left is my general's chariots. Actually, you can see him like this. Magic. He got a 5 on the flux. Goes ahead and puts up the Blackwing Totem on these guys for the agility. All right. I kind of have to let that go through. It's fine. It is what it is. He puts up a Weaken the Beast. I try to stop this one, but it fails. I fail to stop it. He ends up getting it off. And, yeah, this is a nasty turn. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know what turn order it is right now. Turn 5, I think. Let me see if I can zoom in on a... Nope, I don't have a hand anywhere I could see. Anyways, I'm going to give you a 3-second warning on a 3, 2, 1. Wog! I wog. I can't mess this charge up, okay? Oh, my bad. My Rotten Tooths over here. I'm sorry, this is out of order. The Rotten Tooths do win the combat against the charging Wild Horns. I popped up spears and killed them, and it didn't leave him much to do anything. He whiffs, and I just win combat res. And he actually runs through my Doom Diver, which is funny because it pops him through and kills off a couple more. Alright. I wog. I'm going to go back a couple pictures here into this one. I charge Rockers to the flank. I had to. Why not? Right? I charge Feral Orcs to the front, and I charge my General's Chariot Brick into his flank. At this point, Alex is kind of like, what? You can't do that. You can't fit. I'm like, yes, you can. Because I left my General's unit on purpose to charge past the obstructing terrain and my Goblins. It's enough right there to get through that unit. I can make a turn, and I could touch the tip of his unit, and he has to close the door, which is nothing restricting him from closing the door to me, right? He didn't think this was possible. He thought that's an illegal move. We had a call for another player, which I picked Andrew Ratman because I caught him coming out of the bathroom, and Ratman already beat my brother, and he was like, yeah, I'm not busy. So Ratman confirms that, right? Alex was not happy. I clip his unit, and when he closes the door to me, Ruckus can't get in the flank anymore. It changed the front for where Ruckus could get in, and it's impossible for Ruckus to get in there and touch. So Ruckus is out. I get, it looks like 2 chariots in, and my savages, boom, get in the front. Ooh, this is a colorful picture too. I like the color in this. All right. Cletus was coming up just for the hell of it, I guess. My feral, or I'm sorry, my common goblins are coming up to left. My goblin rabble, excuse me, my goblin rabble are coming up, and the main reason is because I've assumed at this point that if I lose this combat, I'm going to lose. So I might as well push up here and do as much magic and everything possible with the goblin rabble. There's really nothing to shoot at this point. Everything's in that Minotaur fight. Okay, over here, I want to say I charged into his giant. His giant failed to charge in the previous turn into my Rotten Tooths. So one of the chariots charged in here, and I just got a perfect roll on the hit and kill. This is also the guy with the Gnasher, so I got extra hit, strength 5. All right, up here. Let's start this. Okay. I challenge with my, I want to say my champion on the chariot. He accepts with his general. Okay? I am not shitting you. He kills my champion like 4 wounds. Boom! Just wiped out my champion. Okay? This is a chariot champion. Okay? Chariot champion did put 2 wounds on him. Alright. On the savages, I didn't even bother taking off bodies. Because he has the Blackwing up. He's going to swing first. He does 17 wounds. Okay? So he's done a total of 21 wounds total. Onto my guys. Okay? Now he has 6 guys there. Alright? They have 3 wounds apiece, which is, what is that? I'm drawing a blank right now. 18 wounds, plus his general. And his general has, like, whatever. I did 2 wounds to him. Okay? My General's impact hits does X amount of wounds. Alright? And my general has a great weapon. My savages go. Now, I did get flaming swords up. And when I rolled the head taker banner, I ended up getting lightning reflexes. So I'm hitting him with paired weapons on 2s. And I'm wounding him on 3s because of flaming swords. I did 20 something wounds back. I mean, he only had 18 wounds that could handle it. Holy shit! He looked at me and he goes, You did more wounds than me. And I was like, yes. And he goes, nobody does more wounds than me. I go, I did. Right now. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry about this. But he was just like shocked. He lost combat by, I don't even know. I did 18 plus 2. That's 20. And then I have a flank, charge, 3 banners. He had done 21 wounds. So he loses by like 4. And he fails that roll. Yeah. At that point, he just shook my hand and he said, we could just call the game there, James. I don't really have much left. Whew. That was crazy. That was crazy. Now, that was the one clutch moment where I got the lightning reflexes off right when I needed it. I only got lightning reflexes off twice in this tournament. I got it off once against the last opponent, which is Ryan Freiberger, and then once against Alex here. The other game against Durham, I got Lethal Strike against Ghouls. That didn't really matter. I got Lethal Strike, and I'm trying to remember the other two, but I don't think the first round mattered because I didn't really get into combat, and then the second round was they actually, I don't remember what I got on that one. That was the Highborn Elves. I don't really remember. Anyways, at this moment, I finished the game pretty fast, actually. On the scoreboard, it put me up on like 3rd place or 4th place at that moment, but people haven't put their scores in. The main one that I'm watching right now is actually this fight right here, John versus Eirik. John versus Eirik, honestly, they're both my friends. I want both of them to win. That's such a new age. Like, I want both my friends to win. But if I'm going to be fair, if I'm going to be honest, I want John to win because I'm staying at John's house. And John's been a friend longer to me than Eirik. Anyways, John is winning. I'm watching the match. John is winning. Now, the thing is, Eirik had such a big lead. Okay, let's go into the rankings real quick. Eirik had a 11-point lead. So that means if John does not get a blowout victory, Eirik could still win, right? At this point, let's see, who's that? Let's do the pairings, round 5. Like I said, my brother lost to Ratman pretty big, so my brother got pushed down a lot. Mike Johnson lost to Sean Mooney, but that was a small loss. Mike Smith actually blew out his opponent, and Mike Smith was the next in the rankings. So he ended up getting an 18-2 against Omer. John won with 17 points. Okay? What ends up happening, we're going to do this while we're waiting for the scores to go in. Okay? You can see, first of all, I want to say, Forest Fracas is fun. It's a lot of fun, and I love the venue. It's very comfortable to chill at. It's a fun place to play at, and you could get food easily there. I enjoyed both times that I came here, even though the first time was under different conditions. Who ended up getting, let's see what order this is. Yeah. Who ended up getting 3rd place was Eirik. Eirik got lost to John by 17-3. He ended up getting 3rd place. John got 2nd place. Because Mike Smith blew out Omer, Mike Smith jumped to 1st place. He beat John by 2 points. 2 points! Ooh, that put Mike Smith way up high in the North American rankings because he had a big win at Buckeye. He had a big win here, and it just threw him way up there. Let me see. All right, I'll look at that in a second. For best sports is actually the guy I played, Rob Phillips. He ended up getting best sports. That was my second round opponent, and then Tom McGee. I love his Cubs hat. Got to say that he ended up getting the Wooded Spoon. Best paint. The guy who won best paint. I mentioned this in the other game. They picked him just because he had a cool looking lobster monster. And I am just shocked. I am shocked. All these awards at Force Fracas give you a shit ton amount of money for store credit. A shit ton. The fucking best paint was $300. 300 American dollars. Or Canadian dollars. Canadian dollars. What the fuck? I am blown out of, like, I have a wall full of fucking plaques for best paint here. A wall. And I didn't get, maybe I got $50 once. Never 300. That is crazy as shit. Anyways, guys. Oh man, you know what the funniest part is too about this? Is I had in my unit like one dude who didn't have his base painted. And I'm looking at it like, that's the reason I lost. You didn't have your base painted. I'm looking for any reason to say why I lost. But, you know, art is subjective. Art is very subjective. Anyways, we drove back. We did not get stopped. We did not lose our, get stopped at the border. We were expecting to get stopped. We got to the border, and they were just kind of like, yep, you're free to go. And I was like, oh, shit. We were totally expecting what happened last year to happen again. We thought, like, somebody's name is on the registry, and anytime it pops up, we'll get red flagged. But no, it was pretty clean, smooth sailing from there, man. Anyways, let's go over where I ended up. After round 5. Mike Smith took first. John took second. Irick took third. Mike Maddox jumped up to fourth. Chuck ended up jumping up to fifth. Ratman jumped up to sixth. I ended up getting seventh place. Now, there is one thing. I brought this up before. Bring it up again. Back in the day, back in my day, there was tournaments that you used to get paint points that would push you up. Ever since people started using New Recruit, they don't care about paint points and they don't care about sportsmanship points unless it gives them a tiebreaker. What ends up happening with that is I feel like it's less motivation or less incentive to have people come with fully painted armies. That wasn't the case so much in Canada, but it has been a case in the U.S. a little bit more. Yeah, it kind of. I used to be able to have a little cushion because of my paint. I'm just not, I know what it was. You know what I mean? Like I'm very being transparent about it. So it would have pushed me up higher. Seventh place out of 25. It's not bad. It's the first time I played with the new book in a tournament setting, so I did enjoy it. Of course, when we're driving home, we always do this, my brother and I. We talk about what we would like to change in the list. My brother actually had this, I like my list. I think I just fucked up how I played a couple times, and then he ended up not changing anything, and because of that, I haven't seen my brother play recently. Since we've been back from Canada. Me, on the other hand, I've been playing at least once a week on Universal Battle. I was playing on Warhol, but I got my Warhol revoked. So now I'm just down to Universal Battle. If you do want to play me, you could send me a message. Right now I'm still trying to get games in to get more practice with this list. I got a lot of games in with Undying Dynasty. I played Phil Carl and Andrew Ratman plenty of times in the last several weeks, months actually, and that prepped me for my next opponent. My next opponent at the Windy City WCW Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc, my first opponent is Squirreloid and his Undying Dynasties. Coincidentally. Anyways, guys, let me go over what the armies did really quick. I do have that marked down here. In last place was the Doom Diver with 659 points. Like I said, if you divide that over 6 games, and I know people are like, oh, well, that's just one, such a small skew of numbers. The thing is, I can't afford it to do that again, and War Machines generally don't produce high numbers. It got me a total of about 110 points, which is probably fine for the cost it was. The cost it is not the same. The cost that it is now is over 200 points to take it. So unless it produces higher numbers, I don't think it's worth taking. The Goblin Rabble, the Goblin Horde, ended up getting a huge win on the on the last round, helping with the Scourge, but it only left them at 11th place, and that's actually pretty cool because that means that a lot of other units popped up a lot more weight, more or less. Baxter the Pyromaniac got whatever place that is, third from last. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th place. 8th place. That is the lowest Baxter has ever performed. And I had pyro-friendly armies. Durham killed him. He assassinated him. Alex Meyer, our games never got to. He stayed out of range for the most part. And the best thing Baxter did was give buffs off to the units. Cletus! I thought Cletus was much higher than this, but Cletus dropped to 7th place. Cletus is 1,141 points, just 30 points over Baxter. The Rotten Tooth clan got right above Cletus at 6th place. That last round, they ended up getting 667 points, which is huge. Barely pushed them, 20 points higher than Cletus. Ruckus got 5th place, and that is crazy. My monsters are in the middle of the pack. Ruckus got 1859, which is the highest that he got, and the biggest one was against Ryan Freiberg, where Ruckus was just running around the backfield killing whatever he could. The K-Pack got 4th place, and I actually thought the K-Pack was going to be higher because they've been producing solid numbers. At the average game of the K-Pack, let's look at this. It's probably what their points are worth, but we got 2409, divide that by 5 games. That's about 480 points, so it's actually not as much as they are worth. The K-Pack does have that can-opener quality and that maneuverability, which I really do enjoy. Yeah, they're in 4th place. The Beastie Boys, Jesus Christ, they got 2,400. Almost 2,500 points, okay? So at 2,500 points, divide that by 5 games. They're basically rocking 500 points a game. That is pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. And in Alex Meyer's game, they got the extra, they got the BSB. Honestly, this game, I got to give the Beastie Boys the MVP because they were able to just rip apart a flank. They took out Mongrels and the BSB and hold up the Longhorns for so long. And I honestly believe when he charged his Centaurs out, it was out of panic because the Beastie Boys are coming up on the flank. That is crazy. 2nd place goes to the Foot Clan. The Foot Clan got a massive 1446 this game. That is honestly the highest amount of points earned out of any combat or any game out of all my units. The closest up was killing the Scourge, was 1,100 points, okay? Or 1,000 points. The Foot Clan killing 1446 was killing the Minotaur bus and the General all in one shot. That pushed them to 2nd place at 3263. That is impressive. That is actually pushing more than their weight, I want to say. I'm going to do this divided by 5. That definitely pushes more than their weight is worth at 652 points a game. That is pretty cool. And in 1st place is Zod and the Chosen of Crom. These guys, basically the 2 big wins against the Minotaur Warlord and the Scourge, pushed their points up really high. I got points off of Durham's game where he just started giving me Black Knights, and Rob Phillips' game. They kind of just zoned for a while, but they did do some damage towards against the bird actually. I think. Yeah. Overall, there was I want to say 7 Orc and Goblin players. Let's see. I was 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say there was a couple more. I only see 4. I thought there was more. There was 4 Orc and Goblin players. The next one after me was Todd McGee. Todd McGee got 16th place, and then Slavomir got 17th place, which was my first round opponent, and then Evan got last place. Evan, Switz Hobby, he had to step out for somebody who I think somebody dropped and he had to drop or something like that, so he didn't really get to play. Um, There's about a 18-point difference between me and Todd. Todd had one more loss. I had one more win than Todd. I did have one of the highest VP differences. So the games I won, I really won. I kind of had like a good body count. Obviously the people above me, Mike Smith, John Oakes, Iric, and Chuck all had higher body counts or point spreads, but I find that VP difference pretty interesting because it could show you that you could earn a lot of points by just playing objective, or if you could get some murderous rampage in there, which I do think that's kind of cool. But yeah, I got another games coming up soon, back in Halloween Havoc, and that'll come out probably next week, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it. Hope you guys enjoyed the music. And yeah, until next time, take care and peace.